she go. Every time she walk by, every time she walk by, every time she walk by, I be like, there she go. Every time she walk by, I can see in her eyes, shawty feeling my vibes. I be like, there she go.
There she go, there she go, love my.
Okay, so let's just get into the video. I don't know why it's not starting, y'all. Okay, there we go. There we go.
Hi, my name is Unique, and in this video I will be talking about teen pregnancy and my personal story on how I found out I was pregnant at 15 and had my daughter at 16. So yeah, and I'm making this video just in case there's anybody out there that's going through a similar situation and don't know what to do, or if there's anybody out there that's young and sexually active and just doesn't think that this can happen to them. Trust me, it can, because I didn't think it could happen to me, but it did. So yep.
When I tell y'all, I know so many people who said they thought that could not happen to them. Man, I know enough people. Like it's crazy. Like, that's why I don't do that stuff. I never did none of that stuff. Nothing. But everybody is different. People believe different things. They feel ready at certain times. Some people don't. You can't. You really. It's not really your place to judge what other people should be doing. You can give opinions or whatever, but it's not you. It's not your life. So you really don't know what other people is capable of. What? Capable of, or what they want to do with their life. It's their life. Maybe they want to do what they want to do, so let them do what they want to do. Okay, but anyway, let's get back into the video. Okay, all right,
so this is how I found out I was pregnant. I found out I was pregnant the day after the 4th of July, and for like 2 weeks before that, I kept getting these weird symptoms. Like, I would wake up at 5 in the morning to go pee. And that was weird for me because I was a heavy sleeper. I will always sleep throughout the night. And just waking up 2 weeks in a row, literally at 5 in the morning to go use the restroom, it was weird. I was just like, what? So I had Googled it. And the first thing that popped up was pregnancy. And then pregnancy symptoms, frequent urination. And I was just like, but I brushed it off. I was just like, nah, that's not me. So then I kept getting these bad cramps for like the whole 2 weeks, and I really didn't pay it any mind because I usually got bad period cramps, and I just thought my period was about to come down. But it lasted for 2 weeks. I'm just like, okay, where's my period? But it didn't show up. So before I even missed my period, I kind of like knew something was wrong because of the cramps and everything, but I just didn't pay it any mind. Girl, you okay? Aww. Hold on. Okay, I'm back. So, what was I saying? Alright, so I had woke up at 5 in the morning again to, go use the restroom. And I had looked in a mirror and I seen these blue veins all in my chest. And I was like, what? Like, it was really weird. So I had Googled it. And the first thing that popped up, of course, was pregnancy. So I was just like, something is not right. And, you could just tell when something is not right with your body. So it's like I knew something was going on.
I know something not right.
And I kind of had a feeling that I was the more that I seen pregnancy.
Man, that's so true. Something never happened to your body. And you know something wrong with you. But somebody try to tell you ain't nothing wrong with you. Like, my mom do that all the time. I be like, my back hurt. I think I sprained some. You ain't drinking enough water. It ain't even that. It ain't even something. My back is broke. It's not about no water. Like, I know you want to drink water and stuff, but I swear I can say, my hand broke. You ain't drinking enough water. Like, I just be like, dang. I love my mama though, but sometimes she be right. But y'all know how it go. Wait, somebody just text me. Okay, let's get back to this.
I was just like, what if So that's when I kind of started to know. And I had called my friend Corey, and it was like 5 a.m, so she's sleepy, like, why is this girl calling me? But she answered. So when she answered, I was telling her all my symptoms, everything that I was having, and how I was scared and stuff. And I was just jumping to conclusions, like, what if this, what if that, what if this, what if that? And she was just like, calm down, Unique. Calm down. What if you're not? You're overreacting. You need to take a test before you start doing all of that. And she said that because out of all my friends, I'm the overdramatic one. I'm the one that just does the most and overthinks everything. So she was just like, you're probably overthinking, so just calm down. And I was just like, okay. Hung up. I did not calm down at all. I was still scared because it's like I knew something was wrong. So I had called my older friend and I told her about everything. So she had dropped me off a pregnancy test later on that day. So I had FaceTime Corey and I went to the restroom and I was, unboxing it, taking out the box. And I did not take it serious. I was just like, okay, it's probably going to come up negative. So, I was just still in denial that couldn't happen to me. Because I was just like, no, that's not the plan for my life. That's just not what's going to go down. So I was just like, nope. So I had read the directions and it was basically like pee on the string and wait like 2 minutes and your results will pop up. So I had followed the directions and I put the test down, and before I could even take my finger off of the test, I seen 2 lines and the second one was like a little light, and I was just like, and then like 10 seconds later it got real dark, and then that's when my heart dropped.
I know, she was scared.
I cried and cried and cried and cried.
I know you.
And my friend was just like, what does it say? What does it say? What does it say? And I couldn't even get it out.
I'm not
saying I started crying somewhere. I was just like, it says I'm pregnant.
In general.
And she was just in shock. Like, she couldn't believe it. And I was just on the floor just crying.
My heart
because, come on now, like, I'm 15.
It happened.
Positive pregnancy test. I'm pregnant. Like, what in the world? So I had went to my room and I cried the whole rest of the day. And I was just thinking in my head, I was like, hold on, this was a Family Dollar test, so this test probably not even accurate. So I was just coming up with
blaming it on
any little excuse to negate the fact that I was pregnant. So I had went to my friend's house the next day and told her mom. So her mom took me to Walmart, got 2 clear blue tests, and we went back to her house. So my friend had took the test. I was like, you need to take this test so I can make sure that these results are real, accurate, all of that. So she had took the test, and of course it came up negative. Then I took the test, came up positive. So at that moment, I was just really scared.
I know you was scared, baby. I know.
Trying to analyze everything and think, okay, how am I going to be able to tell my mom? How am I going to, deal with this? And I was just really, really scared. So my friend's mom was there telling me, everything is going to be okay. You do need to tell your mom. And I was not trying to hear none of that because I really just wanted this whole situation to just disappear. And me telling my mom was my biggest fear because I knew it would hurt her. And that was the last thing I wanted to do. And a lot of people were probably like, okay, so why was you doing what you was doing to get pregnant then? And when you're a teenager, to be honest, sometimes you just don't think about what you're doing and you make careless decisions and you just don't think about the consequences of what you're doing.
I need to stop being fraud.
So it was just me being stupid and young and dumb. So I had went 2 weeks without telling my mom, and for those 2 weeks, my friends and her mom and the boy and his mom was basically telling me, you do need to tell your mom. You need to tell your mom. We need to know what we're gonna do about this whole thing. So I'm just scared, and I did not want to tell her for nothing. So one day we was at a barbecue and we was on the way back. We was in a car. We was lit. We was having a good little time, and then that's when she got this message. And she was just like, Unique, what is this? And she showed me. And then I read it, and it says, give Unique a pregnancy test and delete this when you see it. Ooh. And it's from a text-free number. So at that moment, my heart went in my butt. And I was just scared. I'm just like, are you serious? Like,
your heart
who
was
send
inside
this
your
to her
armpit,
phone? Like, who is this? Who knows about this that would just do this? So I'm just really scared. And
I
then
would cry.
my mom was just like, who would do this? Are you pregnant? Do you have something you need to tell me? She was just doing all of that. And I'm just like, no, it's probably somebody playing on your phone. You know, I'm just trying to come up with every little stupid excuse to just get her mind off of this. But at that moment, I knew she was just going to find out really, really soon, because my mom just does not let anything go. And she was going to get to the bottom of it. And yeah, so she was just, I could tell she was trying to believe me, but then she was
so
like,
dark
something don't seem right. So when we had got home, I heard her tell my grandma that she was going to get some pregnancy tests. So then that's when I had got on my phone, and I was just searching the ways on how to get a negative pregnancy test, because I was not ready for her to know still. So it was basically like, you could mess up the chemical balance in the test by putting it in toilet water, or, you know, just basically diluting the part that you pee on. So I did that when she came. I basically put the test in the toilet water, and it came up naked. And then she was just like, thank God, you can on birth control regardless if you're doing it or not. And that's when I really just felt bad, because I was just like, oh my God. Like, how is she gonna feel when she does find out that I am pregnant? So
she bold.
The next day, she had called me in her room, and she was like, come here. And I was just like, yes. And then that's when she was just like, I had a dream. And I'm just like, oh my God, because every time she says that means she did have a dream about something, and usually all her dreams is very accurate. So she was like, I had a dream that I gave you the pregnancy test just to give it to you again, and it ended up coming up positive. And I asked you who the father was, and she said the boy's name. And that's when I really got scared. I was like, oh my God. And that's when I knew she was really just gonna have to find out soon, and I had to tell her. So I was just like, oh, are you serious? Wow, that's crazy. And I'm just saying all of this. I go back in my room, close my door, I get on the phone. Yo, I think I'm about to tell her. I think I'm gonna just tell her. So I have it made up in my mind that I'm gonna tell her later on that day. So yeah, I had went in her room when she went to work, and I had got one of the pregnancy tests, and I took it because it was 3 that came in a pack. You know, I had used one of them the night before, and I had took one of them to take. So of course it came up positive, and I put it in my room, and I was just like, okay, I'm gonna show her when she get here, and I'm gonna tell her. So I hear my grandma on the phone downstairs.
Oh, she was scared.
And she's really loud. So I heard everything she was saying. And she's on the phone. She was like, oh, for real? Okay, I'm going to go up there right now. I'm going to give it to her. I'm going to look at her when she's talking to me. And she hangs up, and I hear her coming up the stairs, and I'm scared. I'm just like, oh, my God. She's about to find out what is going on. So she comes up the stairs. She looks at me. She's like, come here. And I go, and I'm just like, yes. And she was just like, you finna take a test, and I'm finna look at you right when you take it. So she was just like, go in the bathroom. And I'm scared. I'm like, oh my God, she knows something. So I go in the bathroom, and I wait on her to come in there. So she comes in there, she has a cup, and she was just like, pee in this cup. So I'm just like, okay. So she has a little plastic cup, and I'm standing up trying to pee in it, but I can't, because, you know, I had just took the other test, and I just peed, so I didn't do it. So she's staring at me, and my mom is on the phone the whole time, and she has her on speakerphone. So my mom was just like, did she take it yet? Did she take it yet? And my grandma goes, no, I'm looking at her right now. She up here trying to do something. Like, I'm looking at her.
Man, that's something, I swear, that's something my auntie would do.
I'm scared. And
that's something my auntie
my mom was like, give her the phone, give her the phone. And I was like, yes. And she was just like, is there anything that you need to tell me? And I'm up there hesitating, like, okay, should I tell her now? What should I do?
Later.
And I didn't answer for a second. She was just like, hello. And I was like, yes. I'm up there stuttering, just scared. And she was like, what is it? And I was like, I might be pregnant. And I'm still beating around the bush, because I don't want to just flat out say, okay, yeah, I'm pregnant. So I was just like, I might be pregnant. And she was just like, why you say that? And I get my grandma on the phone. I was just like, I can't pee. I just peed. I had took a test earlier, and I was going to show you later on tonight. So I had went in my room, got the test, and I showed it to my grandma. She was on the phone. Yup, she's pregnant. And I just hear my mom cry. And I'm about to cry, but it really just hurt my heart because I never intentionally wanted to hurt my mom, and just knowing everything that she did for me and me just going, it's like a slap in her face. So I was just really sad, and I was just up there crying right along.
And that's good, because when I be watching like other videos, I just see people, moms, like, oh, pack your stuff, you about to get out my house, or like stuff like that. Like, it's not my place to say that they should not do that, or that they should, because I don't live their life. But it was me, like, yo, I don't do that stuff, never have. No, not me, not I. But like, I have witnessed it a lot of times. I mean, yes, getting pregnant at a young age, like her and a lot of others. I mean, kicking them out the house to the streets, it's not no better. Because, like, that's your grandchild in her stomach. That's really your grandchild in there. Like, that baby could actually grow up and be somebody. Like, that baby, y'all excuse me because I'm sick, but that baby is like, it's a human. Just because it's not born yet doesn't mean, like, that is just a baby. Like, yes, I get it. But that person, that baby could be somebody's husband or wife one day. That baby could have found the cure to cancer. That baby could have, like, I know people who had kids who regretted it. I know people who have kids at young age, had kids at young ages, and it changed their lives. Like, because of that baby, they changed their whole life around. So they can, to better for them and their child. Like, you have to take responsibility over that. Like, it's not, like, having a kid at a young age, I don't feel like people should just give it away, because I don't feel like it's a consequence. Like, you did what you did, so you got pregnant, that's your consequence. That's not a consequence. Like, that's really a whole live baby in your stomach. I'm not talking to you, I'm just saying, like, in general, like, that's really somebody, a living thing, one of us inside of your belly. Like, you have to think about that type of stuff. Like, just because it's not born yet and not out like us doesn't mean it don't exist. That baby will grow up one day. That baby will be a parent one day. This baby could change the world, be the first. Like, y'all just gotta think about it. Cause me, I'm outgoing, so I think ahead of it. I try to think positive into it instead of negative. Like, I'm not gonna say, oh, she got pregnant at a young age, so she gotta be taking care of that baby. No, I try to think positive, because the situation has already happened. It's nothing you can do to take it back. It's nothing you can do. So why be stuck on a situation that you can't change, but you can change for the better and prepare for the future? Y'all know I'm speaking facts right now. I feel like a preacher right now. But we're going to get back to her story, because I'm liking her responsibility right now. Okay? Y'all, get her a thumbs up. Like, she not even putting the blame on nobody else. Like, she really saying what she did and how she's owning up to it. Like, she can't go back and change it. So we just gonna follow on with her, because I'm liking her.
With her. And so she was just like, give your grandma back the phone. And I did. And my grandma just staring at me, and my mom is just sitting up there crying. And I just really felt bad. Like, my whole world felt like it was just coming to an end. So my mom was at work. She had ended up getting off work early. And she had came home. And I'm thinking she's just going to come in and probably just do something real crazy to me. But right when she came in, she was just like, are you okay? And stuff like that. And I told her I was having the bad cramps, so she ended up taking me to the ER, because it was like close to like 10 at night when she came home. So she ended up taking me to the ER, and that's when we was just waiting, because they have you waiting forever in the ER. And she was just like, what do you want to do? And I told her I didn't know, because at the time I didn't, like, I was just finding out I was pregnant. You know, she just found out. And I didn't want to, like, I was really thinking selfishly at the time. So I was just like, you know, I don't want to be responsible for a child. I don't want to throw away my teenage life. And I was just like, you know, abortion. So I told her, I was like, I don't know, I could get rid of it. And I was like, I mean, that's what seems best. And she was just like, I mean, it's whatever you want to do. So they had finally called us back, and they took my blood. They tested me for every STD that there is out there, and they took my urine, and they gave us a room. So we waited hours after that, and then the lady had finally came in the room, and she was just basically like, congrats, honey, you're pregnant. And I'm like, congrats nothing, because I mean, this is nothing to be happy about right now. So she was just like, you know, you're negative for all the STDs, telling me all of that. And she was just like, we would just like to confirm that you really are pregnant. So they took me to the ultrasound floor, and I had my first ultrasound there. And that's when my whole perspective on a lot of things changed. Because right when they gave me that first ultrasound and I seen my baby for the first time, I mean, even though she didn't even look like a baby, it was just like this. She literally looked like this. And then I seen something going like boom, boom, boom. So the lady was basically like, baby has heartbeat. And I was like, oh my God. Reality was kicking in. It's really a whole human, a living person growing inside of me. Like, what in the world? So the lady had gave us a list of OBs to go to, and we had left, and it was like 6 in the morning then. So we had left, and when I got home, my mom was just like, you know, do you know what you want to do? And I was just like, I don't know. She was just like, you need to know soon. So that's when I had thought that night, and I was looking on YouTube at different girls that had got an abortion and how they felt about it, and girls that were young and had their baby, and you know how they felt about it. And I just prayed on it, and I was just like, oh my God, I don't know what I want to do. So the next morning, it was like 12. She had woke me up, and she was just like, you know, what do you want to do? And I was just like, I'm gonna keep it. And I couldn't believe I said that. Like, oh my God, I'm finna keep a baby. I'm finna be a mom. I'm finna have a baby. Like, what in the world? And she was just, I mean, if that's what you want to do, I'm behind you 100%. So that's why. So right when I made the decision and knew that I was keeping her for sure, that's when I went out, got a job, and immediately started working. And I worked till I was up to 8 months pregnant, and I had to stop because of health issues. But I had went out, got a job because, you know, I didn't want to put the responsibility of me having a child on my mom, even though she was behind me 100%. You know, made sure that she had everything she needed if I was missing something. You know, I didn't want her to feel like she was going to be responsible most of the time, and I wanted to show her that I was responsible. So, you know, went out, got a job, and started stacking up, getting everything that she needed. So when I was around 35 weeks pregnant, that's when I started doing my weekly visits, and they did an ultrasound, and they did a brief. Oh my God, girl, is you okay?
Oh, you about to show us her?
Just grumpy. That's what I'm showing.
Show us her.
I was 35 weeks pregnant. I was doing my weekly visits, and that's when I had got an ultrasound for her, and they tested her, and they ended up saying that something was wrong with her breathing. So they had put me in the hospital and monitored her overnight, and released me the next day, saying, you know, everything was okay. So I'm thinking everything all smooth, all good. Then that's when the next week I had went in, and they gave me another ultrasound, and they were basically saying that she was measuring too small, and they didn't want to risk me going full term and putting her in distress or anything else that could happen. So I had to be induced, and I was really kind of sad because I was just like, oh my God, I want to keep my baby to the whole 40 weeks. So the next week they scheduled an induction day for me, and I had her at 37 weeks. I was in the hospital for 2 days in labor, and ended up having her February 23rd. To get her, she started to wake up.
She's showing us her. She's so
cute.
She
was born February the 23rd.
Oh,
and ever since then, I just thank God every day for blessing me with a healthy and beautiful baby. And I do thank God for putting me through this experience, because it's had its ups and downs, of course, but at the end of the day, it made me a stronger person. And her being here is doing nothing but just motivating me to do better in my life and go 20 times harder in everything that I do, to make sure that I get where I need to be in life, and make sure that she's okay, she's straight, she has everything that she needs plus more. And baby, she's gonna have it. Say yes I am. Yes, I am.
My best life.
But yep. So I'm not promoting teenage pregnancy, saying go out there, get pregnant.
No, right.
You know, I'm not doing that. But I am saying if you are in a similar situation, or you know you're going through this, it's not the end of the world. And the way I look at it is that God doesn't put you through anything that you can't handle. So there is light at the end of the tunnel. Even if you are going through a dark situation and you feel down, or you just think that, you know, nothing's gonna get better, it is, because he doesn't put you through nothing that you can't handle. So that's the way I look at it, and I just stay positive about everything, and I'm just really thankful. So yeah, that's my story, and I do hope that it has helped somebody out there. And if you have any questions, please leave it in the comments below. What, girl? So yeah, thank you. Say bye.
Every time she walk by, every time she walk by, every time she walk by, I be like, there she go. Every time she walk by, I can see in her eyes, shawty feeling my vibes. I be like, there she go.
There she go, there she go. Love my